Hello, it is Dr. Askkrystalracquel and I am back again with a video for today. I hope you all are doing amazingly. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. You can also send me an email at askkrystalracquel@gmail.com if you have any questions that you would love to see me answer on a YouTube video. So we are back with our 21 days of change. Today is day 19. So go ahead and, no, today is day 20. Go ahead and check through all the videos so you can learn a little bit more about the Proverbs as we've been going through every single chapter of Proverbs. We are on chapter 20. Let us get right into this word. This is the New International Version. And I'm just finding that the Proverbs are really getting into my spirit as we've been reading it every single day. Yeah, the Proverbs are beautiful and it just really teaches us how to live our lives righteously with wisdom, knowledge, understanding. So let us get into chapter 20. We only have one day left after today, but once again, I am going to continue to read all of the Proverbs with you all up until day 31, since December has 31 days. And chapter 20 for today actually has 20 verses. Let's get right into it. Wine is a mocker and beer a brawler. Whoever is led astray by them is not wise. So it's saying that drinking wine and alcohol causes people to be mockers, like you're gonna say things that you normally wouldn't. And a brawler means like a fighter. So if you're not gonna be wise if you're somebody, whoever's going to continue to drink and do those things, you're not wise, because it's going to lead you to do bad things. A king's wrath is like the roar of a lion. He who angers him forfeits his life. It is to a man's honor to avoid strife, but every fool is quick to quarrel. So, you know, you're going to receive honor if you don't like strife and arguing and fighting, but people who quarrel are foolish. Listen to your father who gave you life, and do not despise your mother when she is old. So when your mom gets old, no, first about your father, right? Listen to what your father is telling you. You know, you want to respect your father and parent, and also don't hate your mother when she's old, right? There's just a certain thing that comes with people as they age, right? You want to give respect and honor to your mother and your father, and you know, they're older now, right? And you pray that one day you can also reach that age. Buy the truth and do not sell it. Get wisdom, discipline, and understanding. I just love the way the Bible words things. Let's listen to that again. Buy the truth and do not sell it, right? So go ahead and get truth, get knowledge, get understanding. Keep that, hold on to it, and do not release that. Get wisdom, discipline, and understanding. And one thing that I love the different sayings, and I think it's Nigerian culture. There's so many different like sayings, and it reminds me of the Proverbs. What's the saying? I can't remember. It's something like, they have a saying like, tell me if you know it. If I say it wrong, you know, just correct me below. Like wisdom is chasing you, but you're much faster. I think that's a saying in Nigerian culture. See how funny that is? I just love the way the Bible talks about Proverbs and how it relates things to us that really sticks into our memory. And some of the Nigerian Proverbs remind me of that too. The father of a righteous man has great joy. So if you're a righteous person, your parents are going to be proud, specifically your father. He who has a wise son delights in him. May your father and mother be glad. May she who gave you birth rejoice. So that's a lovely thing. You want to make your parents proud. And then there's like a space, and then there's another section for 26 through 29, the verses. My son, give me your heart and let your eyes... Oh, I'm on the wrong Proverbs, y'all. I actually was reading into Proverbs 23, so these pages, they're old, so it flipped. So, but yeah, there's something to look forward to for Proverbs 23. That was really nice how it went into that. So Proverbs 20 is here, and then I accidentally flipped, and I had two pages together, so I was reading 23. So let's go back. The from Proverbs 20. As I mentioned before, there are 30 verses. So Proverbs 20 verses 1 through 3. Wine is a mocker and beer a brawler. Whoever is led astray by them is not wise. A king's wrath is like the roar of a lion. He who angers him forfeits his life. It is to a man's honor to avoid strife, but every fool is quick to quarrel. And now we're into verse 4. So previously I read I read 4 verses from chapter 23 accidentally. So here we go, verse 4. A sluggard does not plow in season. So at harvest time, he looks but finds nothing. So if you're a lazy person, you're going to plant all your vegetation, fruits, crops. And then when it's time for harvest time, when harvest time comes, you're going to ignore everything. Everything grew, you forgot about it. Okay, no. It's saying that he doesn't plow in season. So he's not going through doing what he's supposed to do. I don't know if it's called tilling the land. And he's not doing anything like that. And then it's the harvest time when you're time to go pull crops. There's nothing there because he never did what he was supposed to do. A lazy man, right? Or a sluggard. The purposes of a man's heart are deep waters. So the intentions of people, it goes down deep, y'all. You guys don't really know what people are thinking or their intentions, what they think about you, what they're planning to do to you or anything around them. But a man of understanding draws them out. So if you're a wise person, you're going to be able to pull out the truth from people or, understand what's really going on in other people's hearts as well as your own. Many a man claim to have unfailing love. A lot of people say, I love you, I love you, I love you. But a faithful man, who can find? So there's people who say, I love you, but then they're unfaithful. This could be in life, relationships, friendships, So a lot of people can say they love you, but can they say that they're faithful in every sense of the word? The righteous man leads a blameless life. And I know you're probably like, wait a minute, how can anybody live a blameless life? But with time, practice, you can eventually get to that point where you are living your life fully to honor God. So the righteous man leads a blameless life. Blessed are his children after him. So if you're living a righteous life, which is my goal, my intention on this earth, your children are blessed. Right? You want your children to be blessed. So live your life in such a way that your children can emulate you and that you can set a good example for them and that they can have a blessed life because you're blessed and you're following and serving God. If you look at a family and you see generations of mess, generations of problems, if you're looking at the current people before you, the kids, and you see that they're a mess, go back, look at their families, look at their parents, right? Because if you're living a righteous life, your children will be blessed. When a king sits on his throne to judge, he winnows out all evil with his eyes. So he's able to see, even though they said king, imagine it's a judge, right? They're looking through all the evidence. They can tell what is true and what is not based on the evidence. When a king sits on his throne to judge, he winnows out all evil with his eyes. Who can say, I have kept my heart pure? I am clean and without sin. Like I said before, you might be saying it's hard to live a righteous life. It is, and with time you can do it. Differing weights and differing measures, that means like the way you judge something, the Lord detests them both. So this is specifically talking about what we've spoken about before, how people have different scales for different people. God doesn't like that. He wants it to be a just measure, just ruling. He doesn't want people to change based on who the person is that's before them, right? They don't want you to judge differently because, oh, I like the way that person's hair is. Oh, I like that person's outfit. I like their face. I like their body. Oh, I like their personality. I like that they have finance. I like that they are kind to me specifically, even though they're not kind to other people. God doesn't like that. He wants you to judge people by their character or have the same level of a judgment for people. Oh, don't judge someone. Oh, this person, I like them because they act like me. This person, I like them because I think they look like me. If it's your child, right? Oh, this person, I like them because I think that they look cuter than this other person. Or I think I like this person because they're taller than this person. Or I like this person because they they helped me in the past with something. No, use a correct scale, you know. And yes, you may like somebody, you may not like somebody else, but use the correct scale of truth, judgment, righteousness. Even a child is known by his actions, by whether his conduct is pure and right. That's so funny. I was talking to my child and I was like, "Oh, you were so you know, I have a baby, right?" And I was like, "Oh, you were so." Yesterday I was talking to him. I was like, "You were so good today." Then I was like, "Wait, you're always good. You don't even know wrong from right. So everything you do, you're good." But you know, obviously this is talking about a child who knows right from wrong. They're saying even a child is known by his actions, by whether his conduct is pure and right. Ears that hear and eyes that see, the Lord has made them both. Do not love sleep or you will grow poor. Well, let's go back to that verse. Ears that hear and eyes that see, the Lord has made them both. That's a beautiful thing. We should definitely remember that. You can hear, you can see, that's because God allows that to be, right? So let's be grateful for everything that we have that's according to God. Do not love sleep or you will grow poor. Stay awake and you will have food to spare. Talking about laziness again. Laziness will cause you to be poor and have nothing to eat. It's no good, says the buyer. Then off he goes and boasts about his purchase. That is a horrible way to be, right? They're talking about people who like to haggle for no reason. People who are just constantly haggling. Let's say somebody has set their price. We may see this in certain communities, to where certain cultures will go to certain cultures and pay. If something's astronomical, without question, then they'll go to their own culture and want to haggle and pay less, right? So this is talking about somebody who, they see the item, they see the price, and now they're saying, "Oh, this is terrible. What is this? No, lower. That's $50. What you mean that's $50? That is worth 10. No, okay, I'll give you 10 for it." Trying to get the person to give it to them for maybe 30, right? When their cost is set at 50. And then they're gonna go home and then they're gonna start bragging about the item. Like, "Oh, I got this. Look at this beautiful item." I'm not even saying they got it at a discount, but like, "Look at this. Look at my new piece of jewelry. Look at my new shirt," or whatever, you know. That's not a good way to be, right? If someone has a price, why are you trying to get them to go low in their price? Because you don't want to pay. But you know, good and well, if it was at a different location or at a different culture where you had more respect, the culture that's not your own, you would go ahead and pay, right? That reminds me, I'm not trying to go and say about certain races, but let's just talk, since this has to do with braids, right? You know, the primary culture that wears braids or does braids is African American people or people of African descent. There was a lady, I forget what city, she's in an urban area. She does braids, box braids. She charges there are astronomical, the pricings. It's not normal pricings, because, you know, I've gotten braids on and off since I was a young girl, and I know how much braids cost back then. Back then, braids were like $80 for box braids. Nowadays, I'm not too sure, but I know certain areas you can still get box braids for like maybe $200, depending, right? If you go to like an African perhaps, but I know probably Black Americans charge more than that. I know some Black Americans maybe charge like $300, $400, or $500 perhaps. But this young lady, she was a white woman, and she's doing box braids, and she's charging, I believe, it was like $1,000 or more. And it was just astronomical to me, but I just found it very interesting that she's booked with clients, and I could not see a person of Black descent. It may have been even like $1,500. I could not see a person of Black descent willingly going to pay that amount of money for braids. One, let's be honest here, we know box braids, that's not how much box braids cost. It's not how much they cost to get your hair done, but which is obvious, but it was just so interesting to me how booked she is with Black clients. So yeah, that just reminded me of that scripture. You know, God is like people who are, well, not saying that anybody should go to her and be like, "Oh, that's too expensive," right? Obviously that is way too expensive, but those people who are going to her, you see how they're not gonna say, hey, this is too expensive, you know? So basically, you're not supposed to anyway. God is saying, hey, people have, that person has their price, right? So you go to them and go ahead and make your purchase. God doesn't like when you're going to people's businesses or you're trying to get them to not to lower their costs, right? Or their price, because that's their price. You know, if you want it, pay. If not, then get the item somewhere else. I digress. Gold there is, and rubies in abundance, but lips that speak knowledge are a rare jewel. So I love that. Reminds me of Proverbs 31 about the woman. How it talks about how she's even better than riches and rubies and all those things. So yeah, I love me some gold, okay? And rubies and gems and all that stuff, but knowledgeable lips, people who speak wisdom, that is more, it says that that is a rare jewel. Okay, so yeah, saying that you can get rubies, you can get gold. So they're talking as if it's easy to get rubies and gold, but somebody who is speaking knowledgeably, it's rare. And that reminds me of something, but I'm not gonna say that right now. Okay, so take the garment of one who puts up security for a stranger. Hold it in pledge if he does it for a wayward woman. Very good. Food gained by fraud tastes sweet to a man. So people who are out stealing, they love that, whether it's food or something else. All right, so food gained by fraud tastes sweet to a man, but he ends up with a mouthful of gravel. So he's gonna get hurt for stealing. Make plans by seeking advice. If you wage war, obtain guidance. So don't just start making plans with you have no knowledge, you have no background in those things, yeah, it's very important.